Hi y'all, Kraken Latte here. Welcome to this week's video where I cover how to solo farm Island Expedition mounts. Remember Island Expeditions from Battle for Azeroth? Love them or hate them, there are a lot of cool items that actually come from these, and most of them actually aren't that hard to get if you know how to do them. So, we have the mounts, which is specifically what we're after in this one because those are usually the big bads that everyone really wants to collect. If you type an island on your mount list, they'll usually come up pretty simply. Some of these are from Darkmoon Island, but we don't have to worry about that. Some of these are from a vendor specifically, and some of them say drop. Those are the ones we're specifically focusing on, because mounts can come from the islands themselves, from doing and completing them as random drops. But as many as I've done, which is a lot by the way, I've never actually gotten one that way. That's how rare it is. So we're actually going to look at something a little differently because there is a way to buy them. Yes, buy them. So, if you come to Battle for Azeroth in Borealis for the Alliance and Zuldazar for the Horde, you will find your Island Expedition table, which is this here, an NPC behind it, and a couple of vendors somewhere in the vicinity. Now, the Doubloons trader, that's the one that has various things you can buy directly, such as gear, some transmog, pets, some toys. I don't have everything. Obviously, there's a couple mounts. Definitely want that albatross. But the one we're looking at today is the salvage expert right here. This fellow was added in later patches of BFA to let us buy the mounts almost directly. Not these mounts from that vendor, but the mounts that are drops. You see these two purple chests here? Those are the ones you want because they will contain mounts. Now, however, these actually change weekly. Each week, this vendor has different chests, and they are themed differently. And how you'll know what drops from these chests is by reading the tooltip. For this one here, we have the Havenswood Salvage. This drops Feral Worgen, Old God minions, and Dark Necromancer stuff. So, Dark Necromancer stuff means likely that is the Risen Mare, which I happen to already have. The Risen Mare should, theoretically, come out of that chest. Now, of course, it's a random chance. It's not a guaranteed drop. However, all of the mounts that I have got from the Island Expeditions, I bought. I have not had luck from the islands themselves. As you can see, this takes 175 doubloons, which sounds like a lot, but actually it doesn't really take that long. I've already got 58, and I've only been doing this for about 45 minutes on my own. I started with like 2. Now, if you want to come over here and go to this NPC right behind the table is the group queuing one. If you want to queue solo, or even with one other person, so only 2 people, you want to talk to the NPC behind the table. And for the Alliance, it's Flynn. And he will offer your 3 different options: normal, heroic, and mythic. In my case, I want to do normal because I want to try to scoot through these as quickly and painlessly as possible. I can do all the way up through mythic, but I have not been able to actually prove if the higher difficulty ones do drop more doubloons. They seem very random in how much they're actually going to give you. So, I just queue up for a private tour, just like that. The one that doesn't say the difficulty on that because that's the normal one. And that's the one we're going to go into. Oh, and in case you are Alliance and do not see Flynn there behind the table, there is a simple solution for that. I've done a video on it, and I will link how to solve that problem in the description. Now, as far as how soloable these are can vary from person to person. I happen to be on a level 60 protection paladin, prot being my favorite spec of the 3 paladin specs, and I am a pretty neutral 233 item level. I don't have super fancy gear. Most of it consists of fully upgraded stuff from Korthia and like one piece from Zereth Mortis. It's nothing super fancy. All completely obtainable stuff. I don't raid or dungeon or do any of that. And I tend to like playing tank because I can pull way more than normal. Now, if you're not a tank and you are a really low item level, but still 60, which I would recommend farming these at 60 if you want to scoot through them really quickly. So let me see if I can find some big bads here. There's a rare. And we're going to look at real quick how long it actually takes for me to kill this on a 60 to 33 prot Paladin. It won't take me long at all, because as you can see, I'm doing already some pretty good damage to this guy. And the best part is, since I am a tank, he's not going to do much damage to me. So, I like tank, but you can play whatever you feel you're best at. Whatever your main is, whatever you're good at, anything should be able to do this. I have done this on all classes, and it's not too shabby. See, that wasn't so bad. Now, of course, you're not really timed. That is kind of the joy of normal, and I want to point that out real quick. If you're not in a super hurry and you just want to kind of poke along and play around, the normal version is my favorite, because not only do you need to collect the least amount of azurite, it takes a good few minutes for the horde or the opposite faction, you know, whatever your enemy team is, to actually start. They don't even come out of the gate. They don't even come off the boat for like a good few minutes, which is pretty funny because they're very forgiving in this. And if you're level 60, you're not going to be having any issues because everything here is 50, 51, 52, 53 maybe at the highest. It's sold content now, so this should be nice and simple for you. Now, like I had mentioned, this is of course on a 60, 233 prot Paladin. It should be easy peasy. So why don't we pause for a second and go look at how doable this is on a very under-geared 60 Death Knight. Okay, here we are over on the Horde on a totally different character. I am on a level 60 Unholy Death Knight, and I am 136. I am literally in quest gear, freshly dinged 60. I have not put any of the Korthia or Zereth Mortis catch-up gear on this character because I really don't want to spend the Anima and Stygia, and it's not entirely necessary. So, since we are on Horde, as you can see, down here by the docks in this corner, not far from the ships and such, are the NPC, the table, and the vendors. Figured we would hop on Horde, that way you could see it is the same stuff for both Horde and Alliance in the same week, and you see the locations for them. Now, on this very poorly geared fresh 60, let's talk to Captain Rezo here and go hop into a normal private tour. Now, I chose Death Knight not only because this is a level 60 with very poor gear, but also because I feel like Death Knight is one of the classes I'm personally not very good at. I happen to like Blood or Unholy of the three specs more, but I'm just going to go with Unholy. I'm not going to do a tank. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I've not done islands on this character actually since I was leveling. I partly leveled this character with islands, and because of that, I have like, there it is, 111 doubloons, which is actually kind of impressive. No, leveling with island expeditions solely is not very efficient, and it stops giving you like any XP at like 54 or 55. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We are going to go see how doable this is on a very poorly geared 60. All right, let's go pick a fight with something, because I am curious as well. I've only been farming on my geared level 60, so here we go. Here's a big bad. Let's pull this boy and see what happens. Okay. Alright, alrighty, that's not so bad. Alright, I don't think you're gonna have any problems. Of course, you know, if you pull too much, you might have some issues, but I don't know. We'll pull all those gorillas after this and see what happens there. So I don't seem to be having a problem. Yeah, I think just level 60 and you'll pretty much be fine. So that's good. That's definitely good. I wanted to check this and make sure all y'all could do this, because having to gear up just to go farm old content for me is honestly kind of a pain, and I don't want to have to do that when it's old content, you know? Sometimes your level alone, you know, your character level will do the work for you. No gear needed. Now, of course, if you want to go buy the catch-up gear and throw that on these characters that you choose to farm with, what am I doing? I was gonna get the get the gorillas. Anyway, of course, if you want to go farm, you know, for the gear and such, you'll be able to do these faster. But if you don't, or you or you can't afford it or something, then that won't be too much of an issue. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. I don't think y'all are gonna have too much of an issue. I'm just in the base quest gear, fresh. I still have my Azurite Heart of Azeroth neck piece on. I never switched that out. Yeah, I think y'all are gonna be fine. I think this is good. This is good. Perfect. Okay. And there we have it. If you think I've missed information or you want to request I do a specific guide, let me know in the comments below. Even if I don't answer you, I just might add your idea to my list. As always, thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's never too latte.